It's all on that phone.
You guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Sorry for the delay. We had a couple technical issues, but welcome to the County Commission meeting for January 9th, 2023. I'll call the meeting to order. The first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a prayer by Pastor Jeff Arnold of South Hutchinson Christian Church. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor?
Let's pray, shall we? Dear Heavenly Father, Almighty God, we thank you for a bright and beautiful morning. We thank you for being a God of all and over all. We just pray your wisdom presides here in these proceedings. We thank you for the new willing people that are willing to serve. May they serve with wisdom and with love and with a focus to help Reno County be better than it even was before. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen.
Again, want to welcome everyone to the meeting today. It's a pretty short meeting, but it's really busy. And we've got a number of items on the agenda. The first item today, under the welcome number 3, is recognition of Ken Jorns for his service on the Planning Commission of 9 years. I think Mark Von Atchen is going to say a few words, and then I might allow the commission to say a few words as well.
Good morning, Commission. Mark Von Atchen, County Planner. This is Ken Jorns' actual second term on the Planning Commission, as he served previously in the 1990s. Ken was one of the founding members of the current regulations that we have now. He was a vital member of helping us develop the concept that we have and implement right now with our zoning regulations, and his expertise and his knowledge is going to be very well missed by the Planning Commission and by staff. And he's a great member, and we wish him well in the future. So,
We should have any comments?
Yeah, Ken, thank you.
I'm sorry?
Thank you for your service. It was good. I always enjoyed when I sat in on a commission meeting. I always enjoyed your comments and your discussion. Well thought through, and appreciate it.
Well, very good. Thank you. I was honored to serve, even when we were being sworn at from the audience.
And you have a pretty good trip every time you needed to come in to the commission meeting. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Ken, I'd like to thank you. I've listened and been at many of your meetings, and
I'm not hearing well. I'm sorry. You may have to use your school teacher voice.
okay, I want to thank you. I've been to several of your meetings. I've listened to many of your meetings. Being on the Reno County Planning Commission is a very thankless job. All you hear is the negative parts, and you don't hear the positive parts that you're helping the community. But I appreciate your time very much on the Planning Commission.
Thank you. Good morning.
Again, I just echo what these guys have said. I appreciate everything you've done. I've seen you be very thoughtful, and we see all of the comments that come and all of the meetings back to us, and certainly appreciate your perspective from that part of the county, and thank you for all of your hard work. I know a few times you were in the minority on issues, and that's okay. I think we need a diverse set of opinions on any board, so appreciate what you've done for our community. And we have a little plaque here. I think Don and Mark might want to come up and be part of this. And it's not a gold watch, but it's something. What do you guys want to do with it? You want to set us up?
Where am I going?
Go ahead and move up.
Just follow.
Yeah, move over here.
How are you
Stand right there.
today?
Good, how are you?
Long time.
Come on over here. There we go. You stand over there. One more. Thank you.
You have a few, you want to say anything? You're welcome to.
I did about 5 years in the 90s. I think I failed the final exam because I got put back on in 2000 and done 9 years now. So it was always greatly interesting to see what's going on. So enjoyed being a part of it. Most of the time, we've had some hot button issues over the years and some less emotional issues, but we've had some pretty tough ones. So I hope long term it works out for the best. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
Is there anyone here for an item? We should probably thank your wife too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone here for an item not on the agenda that they'd like to make comment on this, or comment about this morning? Hearing none, we'll move on. Does the commission have any additions or revisions that they'd like to propose?
I do not.
I do not.
Randy? No. Okay. We'll move on to the consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we approve the consent agenda items 6A through 6J. I'm sorry, 6L.
There's a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second the motion.
Second by Commissioner Hurd.
Commissioner, Chairman, if you wouldn't mind, I've had some calls and comments regarding the new burn resolution. And essentially, those folks out there who do have shall we say, a kitchen or a modified kitchen or a smoker or some type of barbecue outfit that will not interfere. This took away the 50-foot away from a structure for that recreational burning, which is called recreational burning in that area. And also, I had some questions last time we met with regard to the time it took to do the application, and I found that not to be a problem. And I think, Dawn, you've been through that too, I think. And so I do I'm in favor of this now that I've been through the process. I think they've done a good job in putting it together. Haven't changed a lot of things, just shall we say, identified some areas that needed to be identified, and to make sure that everyone who gets an application knows what it entails, and therefore should be knowledgeable about the rules and regulations that go with open burning, recreational burning, as well as pasture burning or open ag burning.
Commissioner Hurst, this is meant to be kidding you, but if you don't have any problems with the computer application, I think the application must be appropriate for the purpose.
For the most part, yes, I would do that. I had a little trouble with the map till I got through it the first time.
Commissioner Hurst and I have some computer problems at times. We kid each other about those.
Any other discussion?
Don, 6K, the K61 agreement, that just strictly is cleaning up the language of exactly the property that the county got, which they thought that they were getting, which wasn't described in prior years.
That is correct.
Any other comments? Hearing no further comments, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hurst.
Yes.
Commissioner Sellers.
Yes.
Commissioner Friesen.
Yes. Okay, we have one old business item in agenda prep and talking to Randy, that there are multiple items coming up related to the courthouse. Randy indicated this one needed to be addressed immediately, and this commission had the information to do that. I asked that some of the larger projects be pushed to the new commission because there's a lot of discussion and it's a pretty big decision to be made. So Randy, could you brief us on 7A, what this is and what your recommendation is?
Yes. Excuse me. In October, the county commission authorized going out to bid for roof replacement on the courthouse, and the bids came in December, and the architect had it estimated about $110,000 to $140,000 total. The lowest bid was, I believe, $340,000, or I believe it was a little over 340. So it was more than double the amount. So the process, since that was a bidding process, it would be for the commission, the recommendation to deny those bids, all those bids at this time, so that staff and the architect and county commission, if you have input, can look at the specs, modify them a little bit to see if maybe we had too much in the original specs, put it out to bid again, and hopefully to get lower bids.
And just to summarize, what we're being asked to do today is reject the bid so staff can go back and then bring back something for discussion with the commission at a future meeting.
Right. On the 24th, we'll bring back, hopefully have specs ready for you guys to approve. Okay. So if there's any input you have before then, get with me or Harlan.
Is there a motion to reject all bids?
I so move.
Moved by Commissioner Hurst. Is there a
Second.
Second by Commissioner Sellers. Discussion.
This is something we absolutely have to do. We have to get this roof fixed, but we've got some water damage continually. Hopefully, if that water problem in the 5th floor was related to the fix we've already done on the concrete portion at the top of the courthouse, then that will help. But it all needs to be done. But I was just disappointed in the fact that our architect's estimates were so low, not kept, in my opinion, probably wasn't kept up with the market. I would hopefully that we see some local bids come in from local contractors. Really want that. I really do. We need to have that. We need to have that done, and hopefully there'll be somebody interested in that. But we just need to move on and relook at the specs as well as, which I thought the specs were pretty good. I just question whether the pricing is where it needs to be at. But we need to have this roof fixed. That's a definite. People have gone through too much trouble up above in that 5th floor.
Any comments?
No, I would agree.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hurst.
Yes.
Commissioner Sellers.
Yes.
Commissioner Friesen.
Yes. Motion passes 3-0. Okay. Next item on the agenda is Commissioner Sellers. Your time to make some comments as your last day on the commission.
Do I need to take 40 minutes so you'll stay on
Take as
schedule?
much time as you want.
No.
Be careful with that now.
Thank you, Chairman Friesen, for allowing these outgoing comments. I've always taken my position as commissioner very seriously, maybe at times too seriously. And if the audience will indulge me this morning, I'm fighting a cold, and so my voice is not as good as normal, but I'll try to be brief. There are 10 short topics that I'd like to cover pertaining to my last 4 years on the commission, and I'll do those very briefly. One, it has been an honor to be a county commissioner for 4 years, starting in January of 2019. To be an elected official, to gain a chance to serve and better learn about how our county really works. I learned so much during this process that about all the functions that the county does that I never realized were part of county business before. Community service has always been a very important part of our family. I hope that I have been a good community servant during this 4-year period. 2, I want to thank those with the county that were there at that time. I soon gained a close working relationship with existing administrator Gary Mager and existing county councilor Joe O'Sullivan. I want to say a couple things about those two people. Mager was a seasoned veteran government official and knew the county very, very well. Joe O'Sullivan was an interesting person to work with. I admired him greatly. He loves Reno County and always performed his position for the betterment of the county. He has more history of Reno County in his brain than anybody else that I know of within the county. It was fun to work with Joe. 3, in late 2019, Mager announced his retirement. The board then of Bush, Hurst, and myself voted to hire Randy Partington. Randy started in early 2020. Excuse me. One of his strengths was and is currently working with the budget, which he continues to improve the process each year that he has been here. He's presently working on what's called a digital budget book, which will be helpful to all, administration, commissioners, and the public at large, due to the fact that this information will be available to anybody on an ongoing basis. I'm very impressed with this, the first parts of this, and I think everybody within the county will be very glad when this digital budget book is available. Partington has also worked with directors that we see a more uniform county mission. He worked with the department heads on planning and so forth, and has revised our mission, and I believe that all department heads join in that county mission that has been prepared. Partington has worked hard to have county departments have goals and review the same. I think this is particularly important. He has been excellent at hiring new department heads. If we think back about the new department heads that have been hired since his presence at the county, they are all excellent people. He is very excellent in keeping our commission informed, communicating with us, if not daily, very, very often. I don't think we've ever had surprises of things that he hasn't made us aware of ahead of time. It has been a pleasure to work with Partington, and I'll miss our association. Item 4, we lost Commissioner Bob Bush on October 12th, 2020. A great loss to the county and our community. I will always have great respect for Bob and the fact that we got to work together both at city level and then at the county. Bob had a great understanding and wisdom of our community issues. The loss of Bob was a big loss for our county. 5, Commissioner Hurst was reelected and Commissioner Friesen was elected in November 2020, taking office in January of 2021. I have appreciated our working relationship. I have great respect for both of you. I hope that this respect is mutual. Hurst brings a great history of working in Reno County and the rural economy, which is important to the commission. I greatly respect Daniel for many things, but I like the fact that he's wanting departments to create goals and then show how those goals are being produced. I think that's particularly important in this day and time, and that's one thing that Daniel has been bringing to department discussions. I've enjoyed working with both of you. We respect each other. We've had our times, but we all have mutual respect for each other. 6, during my term as commissioner, Bush and I worked to decrease commission meetings from weekly to bi-weekly. This is a change that was needed when we moved from a commission form of government to an administrative commission form of government. This change continues to work better as time goes on, allowing administration to be more effective and decreasing commission's daily involvement. We've even seen, since Randy's been here, that more things can be put on the consent agenda and less business items need to be addressed. It's the administrator's job to run the daily business of the county, and the commission's job to provide him oversight into what issues he needs to be looking into. I think the move from weekly meetings to bi-weekly meetings has been a big improvement in government. I've heard from Randy and other department heads that has helped their time usage because their 2.5 hours every Tuesday isn't taken. Now 2.5 hours every other Tuesday is taken. Item 7, in addition, in November of 2021, voters in Reno County approved going from 3 commissioners to 5. Positive effects of this change might be slow to be seen, but I'm certain in the long run this change will better serve the commission, the administrator, and Reno County citizens. I think it will be a big service to Reno County citizens. I've been on many governmental boards, not many, 3. Community College has 7 members. Hutchinson City Council has 5 members. This board only had 3. It's very apparent that when you have more ideas coming from your commission, that you come to a better decision-making process. And I think that this will be the eventual positive effect for Reno County, that when 5 people share their goals, we'll be able to come to a better meeting of the minds than just 3. 8, I want to congratulate Randy Parks and Don Bogner on their election to the commission. I'm sure that they will serve to the benefits of the citizens. In addition, I acknowledge John Weitzel as an appointee of the Republican Party. While I am leaving the commission, and I have mixed emotions about leaving, but I'm going to enjoy my time in travel, I hope, my love and respect for our community will continue. If I can be of assistance to any of you 3 in any way, please just ask, and I'll be glad to assist in any way that you might feel helpful. I'm probably not going to call you to offer my advice, but I would respectfully ask you to call if you want my advice. Item 9. With newly elected and appointed commissioners, the county should have a better chance of having our state elected officials show some concern to our county legislative policy. In the past, our Kansas elected officers have shown little interest in our local county concerns that are controlled at the state level. And I think my fellow commissioners would agree with me here that we create a legislative policy and send to our state delegation each year, and they throw it in the trash. And I think with the closeness of some of our new commissioners to those state officers, that you might have a better chance of getting them to realize that we have our problems, that the state could help us with those corrections. And to find out more about that, Randy can certainly talk to you about those issues and the legislative policy that he creates each year. 10, finally, I want to thank the Reno County department heads and employees for all their assistance that they have provided in the last 4 years. I did not know when I started this position that we were fortunate to have such an excellent management group and great Reno County employees. The group serves the citizens very well. Many excellent departments and directors. And I'm only going to mention a couple, and those that I don't mention, I should mention them all, but the two I want to mention is the county clerk staff have been most helpful to me. And one thing I appreciate about their department is that they seem to have a very good time while they're accomplishing their duties. And I've always felt as an employer, if people can have fun and still get their job done, that's wonderful. And I see that in that department. So it's been fun to work with them. I want to thank the clerk staff in helping our meetings run smoothly. I especially want to thank Shonda Arpin, Administrative Associate to the County Administrator, for all the time she's helped me with issues. Without her, would have been lost many, many times. Some of us, our computer abilities are not 100%, and Shonda helps with those at times, and I appreciate that. Us more mature people got to keep up with this computer age, and it is difficult for us. Thank you, Shonda, for all your help. In closing, thank you, Chairman Friesen and Commissioner Hurst, for the atmosphere that you have given the county the last few years. While we always didn't agree, which we shouldn't, we always were able to leave the table appreciating the other's view on an issue. I hope the county is better off due to our last 4 years of effort. Thank you, and all the best for Reno County in the years to come. Sincerely. Thank you.
Thank you,
Chairman.
Commissioner Sellers. Commissioner Hurst, you have a few comments?
Commissioner Sellers, I appreciate all the time and effort you put into this job. I call it a job because it is. It's an important one, and you fulfilled admirably. We have had our votes different, but the fact that we could do this and express ourselves to one another on the reasons why we differed and the reasons why, and respect another person's for that. I think you hit that on the nail on the head really well. And so thank you. Appreciated working with you.
Thank you very much. A response is, in the past, the three of us commissioners could not talk outside of county meetings. I think it would have been very nice if Ron and I could have talked after those meetings and better explained why we disagreed on certain things, which the 5 commission members will be able to better discuss among themselves how they feel.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Hurst. Commissioner Sellers, I too appreciate the opportunity to work with you, your point of leaving after the meeting and appreciating the thoughts, no matter if we disagree. I think that's true. I think you guys get over it a little sooner than I do. That might be come with age, I think.
We just forget.
Yeah. But, you know, I've said a few times through my years of public service that elected service, you can do as little or as much as you want in this job. And really, you can fake it up here if you want to. And the thing that I've found from Commissioner Sellers is he's not faking it. He's really putting in his time. I've noticed, you know, you may not all notice it as much, but I think we can tell when each other have read the reports, done the work ahead of time. Randy and staff do a lot of work ahead of time for us, and they send us a lot of information. And one of the things that I've noticed always with Commissioner Sellers is he seems well-read and well-prepared for every meeting that we've been a part of, and I think that's a testament to his community service, and I certainly have appreciated when I haven't read everything that I know Commissioner Sellers has. And so, you know, I really do believe what you said, that you've done what you thought is best for the community, and you've had the community's, you know, community at heart, and while we didn't always agree on what that was, I totally agree that you put all of your heart into it and cared about the community. So I too want to thank and honor your time here and your service. It's a bit of a thankless job, and we do it for our community, right? And so thank you for all of your service. I know you didn't want a cake or a plaque, or it may show up on your desk in the future at a future time, but appreciate all of you've done for our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
With that, I think we're going to take a break. Randy, do you have anything to say? You want to say anything about Commissioner Sellers?
Well,
Good,
sure.
bad?
Sure, real quick,
Giving you an opportunity.
Before you take the quick break, yeah, Commissioner Sellers, I appreciate you being one of the 3 that hired me. I love Reno County, and I can tell that you really care a lot about this community, the city of Hutchinson, the Reno County, and everyone that's involved. So it's been an honor to work for you during these past 3 years that I've been here, and I'll definitely miss some of your comments and some things that you tell me offline when we're not in this meeting. Let me know. But of course, you have my number. You know where I live, so I'm sure if there's an issue, feel free to contact me. But we'll definitely miss you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Sellers. At this time,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm swearing in the new officials, and I have a jury reporting in a few
Okay.
minutes.
Okay.
If we can-
so I think we'll move right into swearing in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Good.
Arlington, do you have the?
I do.
Oh, good. I was going to check with you Friday to make sure.
Sit down here.
Oh, I'll borrow that. I'll borrow your pen too for me. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm Judge Trish Rose here from across the street. Mr. Parks, where's Mr. Parks? There you are. Okay. All right. So raise your right hand, please. Do you, Randall Parks, solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Kansas and faithfully discharge the duties of Reno County Commission District 1, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
If you will sign. Yes.
Thank you.
And now, Mr. Bogner. Am I saying that correctly?
Ron, I was going to leave that in case I caused problems.
Right.
His name again for
You, Don Bogner, solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Kansas and faithfully discharge the duties of Reno County Commission District 5, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Okay, sign right there. Yes.
They only made a few of us right.
Yeah, we're both lefties.
Do you want this on John?
You should.
Okay.
We're sure we got the right guy.
Yeah. It'll
Okay.
break till
Okay.
10, I think.
Congratulations. Thank you. Right.
Thank you, Judge Rose.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations to Commissioner Parks and Commissioner Bogner. Don, you're welcome to take a seat. It's time to get to work. At this time, we're going to take about just under a 20-minute break. We're going to reconvene at 10 a.m. our meeting here with the new commission. Welcome Commissioners Bogner and Parks. Item 10 is the reorganization of the county commissioners. There's a few things we can do here. I think there's been a little bit of discussion on how to handle this. Is there an initial motion?
Yeah, I wanted a motion that we'd hold this to another meeting so that when John Wetzel gets appointed, we all five could make this decision.
Okay.
I know, haven't we checked, and there's, from this date, we've got 30 days out to make that final decision, I think.
So Randy,
Yes, that is correct.
so we've got 30 days
There's
from,
30 days before you have to select the chair, and the current chair will remain in place until that time.
and let me restate the motion so I understand it, make sure we have it correct in the minutes. Commissioner Parks made a motion to table item 10 until the next meeting. Hopefully at that time, Commissioner Weitzel will be present. If not, we can table it further. Is that your motion?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Commissioner Bogner. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, roll call please.
Commissioner Parks?
Yes?
Commissioner Bogner?
Yes.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
Mr. Friesen?
Yes. Okay, good plan. Item 11 is new business. Randy, we don't really have anything.
Right.
I think the few things that are coming up, one was reviewing the roof, the new roof bids, and then I think you've delayed some of the bids on that you're working with who are you working?
Ward Davis.
Ward
On the
Davis.
courthouse
Okay.
renovations, interior renovations, yes.
So that was, and then we want to talk about the ARPA contracts and just real briefly where we're at on that.
So the subrecipient agreements that our consultants, iParametrics, are working with SCED, Interfaith Housing, and United Way for the child care and the housing portions of the ARPA money that have been approved. Those agreements should be, they're kind of in their final stages of getting legal approval both from the entities and from Patrick. So those will be on the January 24th meeting. At least those three agreements will be presented for approval. So that way those entities can really start working on the projects because they've kind of been on hold for a little while.
Any early feedback for Randy on those, or you're welcome to chat with him after the meeting, or?
I'll visit with him after.
Okay.
I think it's imperative that we have those for next meeting. It's taken too long now from parametrics.
Okay. Randy, you want to do your administrator report?
Sure. You want me? I have the financial report that's included and wanted to see if there's questions, but this is year end, but these are not final numbers. So we have a month 13, so we're still paying bills for items received or committed in 2022. The revenues are pretty much final. There may be a few adjustments, but if we receive the money in 2022, it stays in 2022. If we receive it in 23, it goes to 23's budget. But I wanted to point out that the general fund, sorry to scroll pretty quick, but the general fund, all the departments have spent most of their budget authority, but we began the year with 14.4 million and right now it's by 15.8, so we have increased a little bit, but again, there's no more revenues, but we're going to have expenditures and year-end transfers that are going to lower that number. So it will not stay at 15.8 million. So it will go down a little bit. It'll be below it'll probably be below the $14.4 million by the time that the audit has been prepared, all the encumbrances have been taken care of. The departments, you can see most have spent the majority of of their authority, point out, I'm going to go back up to county general. This is the one, this is where the cash savings are for the county. If a department overspends in the general fund, they don't technically get a write-up, or they haven't committed a budget violation because it's fund accounting. So it's the general fund overall expenditures that are taken into account. And this is where we put some cushion, one for cash in case of an emergency, the other in case we miss the budget a little bit. There is extra money there. And that's this reserve for cash carryover. So I'm just kind of wanted to point that one out. The other funds are also in pretty good shape. Most of them have maintained their fund balance, so revenues and expenditures are pretty relatively equal in most departments. Some have done better. Public health has gone up. That's because of grant money. It's not taxes. The property tax on public health has actually gone down, the amount of ad valorem taxes they receive, which then has lowered the amount that they'll get from the state on some matching grants. So there's a little bit of a hit that that fund will take in future years as the property tax has gone down for that one, for the health department. Noxious weed is up a little bit. Special bridge, again, pretty equal. That's kind of how most of the funds are in the condition they're in. Any questions on this?
Just might point out for the new commissioners here, and you probably are already aware of this, but normally a county needs about 4 months. Is that correct, Randy? About 4 months in reserve of operating funds. Is that 3-4 months?
3 to 6 is really kind of the benchmark. 3 would be the very minimum. 4 is good, but 6 is where probably the recommended for the general fund, because the general fund does carry all the other funds. General fund can transfer money to just about any fund if they were in trouble. The other tax levy funds or other expenditure funds were, so the general fund's really that kind of the one that we need. Yeah, 4 months, 6 months is what's needed.
And that also has a bearing on bonds. Reno County has a very good bond rating right now. And part of that is due to the total amount of bonding we have plus the amount in reserve to cover those items. So right now we're in a very good position with regard. It made a huge difference on the last bond issue we got.
Okay. The other report is the department reports, monthly reports. These are from November, again, because we're not giving the commission every department for the meeting. We're splitting it up over the 2 meetings a month. So we're a little behind. So those are the November monthly reports. Didn't know if there were any questions. I'm not going to get into the details of them, but I can answer questions if you have about those reports.
I think this has saved a lot of time by having a report sent to us rather than spending time of department heads coming in and waiting here until their report time. It was a good move by Randy.
One of the things, and you'll see this next week, I believe Aging will be here. Each department still comes before the commission for an annual report. They used to do it, I think, every couple months they would be here. Now it's one time a year they will be in front of the commission to talk about their either upcoming year or past year, what they've been working on, and answer any questions at that time.
Okay.
Another item I wanted to mention is opioid settlement funds. Right now, I think there's an estimate, most recent estimate, Reno County will get around $140,000 from these opioid settlement funds. We don't know when we'll receive them, whether it's today, in 20 years. There may be a gap. There depends on the settlement by each pharmaceutical company of what they agree to. We've received 11,556 right now. The health department, Seth with the health department, who works on public education, had brought some ideas, thoughts about putting a committee together that would include the City of Hutchinson, because the City of Hutchinson will get similar amounts of money, but all of the funds have to be basically paid or used to kind of offset, or they need to be tied to opioid treatment or abatement of opioids. So there's limited ways to spend that money. Right now, we're looking at putting a committee together that would include someone from the medical community, someone appointed by the county. The recommendation, if the city wants to also partake, the city would appoint someone, corrections and drug court, someone from treatment, and then both the sheriff and police department have someone, and then maybe someone from the faith community. So just kind of wanted to bring that up. I can get all of you more details, and I'll probably put it in a weekly report that I provide to the commission. So if you have any ideas or thoughts, please let me know. The other item is the next commission meeting is January 24th. The following one after that will be January 31st, the next week. Sometimes for the 5th Tuesday, we've had work sessions. So I wanted to, if we don't need to have a business meeting, I would recommend we still have the 31st and do work session to talk about the proposed shooting range that the previous commission had talked about last year. There's some work on that. Any discussion on environmental health, any changes, anything that we updates, kind of wanted to bring that up, and any other major projects or work that we're working on. That would be a good time to talk about those items depending on how many hours you could commit to that morning. And then we'll also want to probably start talking about a strategic planning session for the commission, the 5 commissioners, to have each of you, we'll have a meeting, whether it's off hours on a weekend, whenever, just to kind of get away and really talk about all the projects we have going on, and then what your priorities are, what you want done, so that staff, we know, are there certain areas of the county you really want to focus on? Are there certain projects you want to focus on, or kind of where you at as a governing body? So as we prepare our 2024 budgets, we have an idea of what you want. And as we complete 2023, we know what projects you want done this year or next year. So I want you guys to start thinking about that, and I'll leave it up to you or the chair to determine a date for that.
Questions for Randy?
No.
All right, I'm probably going to start, because we have 2 Randys now. I probably need to.
Yeah, I got a text that said RP, and you're going to have to clarify that. I go by RP. So.
Questions for Mr. Partington? None? Okay. Item 13 is County Commission report and comments. So generally, we leave this session kind of open for any comments that commissioners may have, even if they're not on the agenda. It's a good time to discuss things you might want on the agenda in the future. Sometimes commissioners reserve this time to discuss the county administrator report, but you're welcome to do that during its report, I think, at least as far as I'm concerned. So any county commission comments today?
Not really, but I suspect there'll be some as time goes on.
Commissioner Bogner?
Well, I thought we had a good meeting today, all around, and look forward to working with you, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, all of you, on your appointment. Wanted to comment, if you haven't got a copy of this, this is kind of a review of our recent tour Thursday, when we went to Kansas Department of Agriculture. There were 17 participants in that. Mr. Bogner was one of them, and we had legislative people there. We had Representative Cyward, and if I remember right, there was another one, but I didn't catch his name, on the tour up at Kansas Department of Ag, and it was, I think, very enlightening. There was quite a variety of participants there, both from manufacturing and technical and production, and whether there's anybody there from processing or not, but those are the three areas that primarily on, and it just was an informative meeting to show the importance of the overall, I want to call it overall agriculture, when you say that, on Reno County and Kansas, but primarily Reno County. The amount of dollars generated through the total agricultural economy, as well as the amount of people that are actually employed via agriculture. So I hope that was very good. Well, welcome, as I said before, the new commissioners, that this is a representative of the people. There's also some events coming up here on January 25th, Legislative Day, and I imagine we'll be talking about the opportunity to go up to Legislative Day on January 25th. It's a good opportunity to spend a morning visiting with our legislatures about things that affect the county, any county, but specifically Reno County. I've attended it before. I thought it was pretty good, an opportunity to visit with our representatives and senators. And I think from a standpoint here of just the idea that you are a part of taxation, Reno, there's only 13 counties that have less levy than Reno County. So I think that's been a priority here of looking at, and I think it will continue to be a priority of looking at from a consumer standpoint. So that's really all I have. So thank you.
I might mention, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
I too, like Don, I want to thank you guys for your help getting us here today and everything everybody's done. I thank you for the proceedings this morning. It was good. Thank you for that. I might mention then this Wednesday night we'll be in Topeka, Thursday and Friday morning for some orientation for the commissioners. So, and that'll be good. Shonda got us set up to do that, so I'm looking forward to that.
Good networking time.
Yeah.
If I might add a little bit to what Ron said, I was on that tour, as well as some people in the audience. It's amazing when you get the figures, what a large role Reno County plays agriculturally. The state first, but where we rank in the state with about everything major in ag. So it was very enlightening. He alluded to the jobs. It figures up that 17% of the jobs, almost 1/5 of the jobs in Reno County are there because of our ag deal. So we want to keep that in mind. We're all here working together, but it's just some, like I said, a few little figures just stuck out at me that where we rank in this state. So with that, thanks for reminding me, Ron.
Thanks, Commissioner. Commissioner, I've heard your name said a couple different ways already. I want to pronounce it right. Can you pronounce it?
Bogner.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Thank you for that. I too want to welcome you guys. Appreciate your hard work and your campaigning. I know I've always said I'd rather do 4 years of work on an elected body than 4 months of working on a campaign. So it's tough work, and
Yeah.
I know you guys worked hard at it. I know there was some ups and downs, so thank you for putting in the work to be here today, and thank you for starting your service. So welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, I do not think there's any other items. Randy, you got
I'll
it?
probably just mention that John Weitzel is in the audience, but he will be the 5th commissioner.
Yeah.
We're waiting on a letter being signed by the governor of Kansas to authorize that, but on the 24th, we plan to have his swearing in ceremony at the very beginning of that meeting.
Yeah. Welcome, John. Look forward to working with you as well. Sorry, the cogs of government didn't have you up here already, so they work a little slow, I've heard. So with that, we'll adjourn the meeting today. Thank you for your attendance today.